What would you do if a long-lost sibling suddenly reappeared in your life? For the Smith family, this reunion was anything but joyous, spiraling into an unimaginable tragedy. Join us as we delve into the mysterious disappearance of a sibling and the haunting secrets that surfaced. In the small town of Millfield, the Smith family had always been known for their close-knit bonds. But when their youngest son, Jake, vanished at just 10 years old, everything changed. His disappearance rocked the community and left a gaping hole in the hearts of his loved ones. Years turned into decades, and the mystery of Jake's disappearance faded into a cold case. The Smith family struggled to cope with the loss, holding on to hope that someday they might find answers. Yet, as time passed, the pain of their unresolved grief lingered. Then, in a twist of fate, a phone call changed everything. An unknown caller claimed to have information about Jake. The Smiths were both excited and terrified, as the possibility of closure hung in the balance. Who was this mysterious caller, and what did they know? The caller turned out to be a woman named Lisa, claiming to be Jake's half-sister. She spoke of a troubled childhood and a secret family history that included Jake. The Smiths were overjoyed, but also skeptical. Could this be real or just another cruel hoax? Lisa revealed that their mother, who had given Jake up for adoption, was still alive but suffering from a serious illness. She urged the Smiths to reunite with her, leading to a flurry of emotions. They felt a mix of hope and trepidation about their long-lost sibling's fate. As the Smiths prepared for the reunion, they were flooded with memories of Jake, his laughter, his dreams. They wondered if he had grown up to be the man they had always imagined. The anticipation was overwhelming, but so was the fear of what they might uncover. The day of the reunion arrived. The Smith family gathered nervously at the hospital, hearts pounding. Would they finally get the answers they sought? As Lisa walked through the doors, they felt both joy and anxiety at the prospect of meeting their brother after so many years. But as they embraced, something felt off. Jake, now known as Jake Jr., had changed. He was a stranger to them, carrying the weight of a troubled past. As they began to share stories, it became clear that the reunion was not as idyllic as they had hoped. Jake Jr. revealed that his life had been tumultuous, filled with hardship and trauma. He talked about his struggles with addiction and the pain of feeling abandoned. The Smiths listened in shock, realizing that the brother they had longed for was not the one they remembered. As the reunion continued, the conversation turned to the darker aspects of family history. Secrets that had been buried for years began to resurface. Jake Jr. hinted at a family curse, a legacy of tragedy that seemed to plague the Smiths. The Smiths were left grappling with the reality of their family's past. As they delved deeper, they discovered more about their mother's struggles and the reasons behind Jake's adoption. The truth was painful, but it brought them closer as they faced it together. However, the joy of reunion quickly turned to despair. Jake Jr. relapsed into his old habits, leading to a series of unfortunate events that would change the family forever. The Smiths felt helpless as they tried to guide him back to safety. In a desperate attempt to save Jake Jr., the Smith family sought professional help. They enrolled him in rehab, hoping that this would be the turning point in his life. But the road to recovery was fraught with obstacles and setbacks. Despite their best efforts, the family faced heartbreaking setbacks as Jake Jr. continued to struggle. The emotional toll weighed heavily on the Smiths, and they feared that they might lose him once again. The past was closing in on them like a dark cloud. Then came the devastating news. Jake Jr. had been found unconscious in a motel room. The Smiths rushed to the hospital, praying for a miracle. The scene was one of desperation as they confronted the possibility of losing him forever. At the hospital, the Smiths were faced with the grim reality of Jake Jr.'s condition. Doctors delivered the heartbreaking news. He was in critical condition, fighting for his life. The family clung to hope, but it was fading fast. As they sat by his bedside, the Smiths reminisced about the happy memories they had shared with Jake. They talked to him, holding his hand tightly, sharing their love and the family he had always belonged to. Would it be enough to pull him back from the brink? After days of uncertainty, Jake Jr. began to show signs of improvement. The family held their breath as they watched him regain consciousness. Their hearts swelled with joy, but they knew the journey ahead would be long and arduous. Rehab once again became a focal point in Jake Jr.'s life. This time, the Smiths were more involved, attending family therapy sessions and supporting him through every step of the way. Their bond began to mend as they worked towards healing together. Months passed, and Jake Jr. continued to make strides in his recovery. He began to reconnect with the family he had long missed, rebuilding relationships that had been strained by years of hardship. The road remained difficult, but filled with promise. However, the shadow of his past still lingered over Jake Jr. He faced moments of doubt and temptation. The Smiths remained vigilant, knowing that they could not let their guard down in the fight against addiction. Together, they made a pact to support one another. As the years rolled on, the Smiths learned to navigate their new normal, cherishing the moments they had together. They honored Jake's memory by advocating for those struggling with addiction, hoping their story could inspire others facing similar battles. Despite the pain of their past, the Smith family emerged stronger. They found healing in their shared experiences, embracing the love that had always been there. Their story reminds us that family can endure even the darkest of times. The story of the Smith family is one of tragedy, resilience, and hope. It serves as a reminder that even in the depths of despair, the power of love and family can lead to healing. How does your family face adversity? Reflect on your connections and remember, you are never alone. In the months that followed, the Smith family never lost hope. They began to dig deeper into the circumstances surrounding their siblings' disappearance. Every scrap of information became a vital piece of the puzzle as they revisited old memories that had long been buried. A critical lead surfaced when a distant relative contacted the family after seeing a social media post. This relative shared a story about a possible sighting of the missing sibling in a nearby town years ago, igniting a new spark of hope within the Smiths. Determined to uncover the truth, the Smiths traveled to the town where the sighting occurred. The small community welcomed them, but many were unaware of the family's tragedy. This opened a new chapter in their quest as they began canvassing the area. As they spoke to locals, they encountered a few who remembered vague details about a child resembling their sibling. Each anecdote felt like both a blessing and a curse. Hopeful yet haunting, days turned into weeks, and the search continued. The family created flyers and reached out to news outlets, desperate to gather more information. Their emotional appeals tugged at the hearts of many, spreading awareness far beyond their own community. During this time, the Smiths also leaned on each other for support. Family dinners became therapy sessions filled with laughter and tears, reminders that they were not just searching for a sibling, but also healing old wounds within themselves. Tragedy struck again when a news report surfaced about the discovery of a body in the area where their sibling was last seen. The family was left to grapple with the emotional turmoil of uncertainty as they awaited the coroner's report, hoping for the best, yet fearing the worst. The coroner's report came back, and the shocking discovery revealed that the body belonged to a different missing person. Relief washed over the Smiths, but it only fueled their determination to continue searching for their long-lost sibling. With renewed vigor, the Smith family organized a community event to raise awareness about their sibling's case. They shared their story with a larger audience, hoping someone would recognize the face of the missing child from decades ago. Weeks passed, and the event drew attention from local media. A journalist decided to investigate further, uncovering chilling details about the siblings' last known whereabouts, reigniting interest in the long cold case. The investigation led to the uncovering of an old police report that had been filed years before the siblings' disappearance. The Smith family learned of a possible suspect who had been in the area around the time of their siblings' last sighting. With this new information, the Smith family felt a sense of urgency to contact law enforcement. They shared everything they had uncovered, eager for the authorities to take another look at the case with fresh eyes and renewed determination. As the investigation reopened, the Smiths found themselves torn between hope and fear. Each new lead brought excitement, but also the possibility of more heartbreak. They clung tightly to one another through the emotional roller coaster. Finally, the authorities released a composite sketch based on eyewitness accounts from the small town. The Smith family shared the image widely, hopeful that it might jog someone's memory and bring them closer to finding their sibling. As days went by, a small breakthrough came when someone contacted the family with a memory of a child matching the sketch. They recalled seeing a child very much like their sibling playing in a park, sparking renewed hope within the Smiths. The Smiths visited the park mentioned in the call, immersing themselves in the surroundings. They spoke to parents and children, hoping to uncover more leads that might lead them to their long-lost sibling. While the search was ongoing, the Smith family also began to share their story with local schools, hoping to educate children on the importance of safety and the impact of disappearances on families. Their tragedy became a teaching tool for others. As the weeks turned into months, the Smith family never gave up. Their determination to find their sibling became a beacon of hope for other families facing similar tragedies. They organized support groups, allowing others to share their stories of loss and love. The movement gained traction, capturing the attention of local news outlets once again. The Smith family's story resonated widely, inspiring others to join their cause and share their experiences of loss. A candlelight vigil was planned to honor missing loved ones. As the vigil approached, the anticipation and anxiety grew. The Smith family sat together, reflecting on their journey, the love that had brought them closer, and the hope that one day they would find their sibling. Yet, they knew the road ahead was still uncertain. The night of the vigil arrived. A sea of flickering candles illuminated the faces of family and friends. Each flame represented a story, a life touched by loss, and a flicker of hope that their loved ones would return. As the Smith family held hands, memories of their sibling flooded back. Laughter from their childhood echoed in their minds, bittersweet amidst their growing anxiety about the unknown. The names of missing persons were read aloud, including their siblings. Each name carried the weight of a story untold, and with every name, the emotional tension in the air thickened. After the vigil, the family returned home, their hearts heavy yet comforted by the support of their community. They knew they were not alone in their grief, but the reality of their siblings' disappearance remained painfully real. Determined not to lose hope, the family organized a search party. They reached out to volunteers, asking for anyone willing to help them scour the area where their sibling was last seen. Days turned into weeks as the search intensified. They distributed flyers, posted on social media, and contacted local news outlets to keep the public aware and engaged in their plight. As the search expanded, they encountered new leads. One witness claimed to have seen someone matching their sibling's description near a local park just days after the disappearance. The family felt a surge of hope. They organized a community gathering at the park where the sighting occurred, hoping to draw more memories from potential witnesses. During the gathering, old neighbors and new faces came together, sharing stories of their own losses. The bond of shared experiences brought unexpected comfort to the Smith family. One attendee, a retired detective, approached the family with insights from his years of experience. He shared strategies for investigating cold cases and offered to assist. With renewed vigor, the family and the detective began retracing their siblings' steps. They revisited key locations, hoping to uncover overlooked evidence. During their search, they stumbled upon an old surveillance tape from a nearby business. The family anxiously awaited the footage, hoping it would provide new clues. As they watched the tape, their hearts raced. In the grainy footage, they spotted a figure resembling their sibling, heightening their hopes and fears. The family sent the footage to the police, who were urged to investigate further. Each new lead felt like a fragile thread in a web of uncertainty. Amid the chaos, the family received a message from an anonymous source claiming to know the whereabouts of their sibling. They were both wary and hopeful about this unexpected twist. The family decided to follow up on the lead, meeting the source in a neutral location. The air was thick with tension. Every moment felt crucial. As the source arrived, he revealed shocking details about a potential sighting far from home, reigniting their hope for a reunion. yet raising new concerns about their siblings' safety. The family deliberated their next steps. With every piece of information, the emotional stakes grew higher, and the urgency to find their sibling became almost unbearable. They decided to engage a private investigator, believing that fresh eyes could unveil what had been hidden. This new chapter of their search began with renewed determination. As they embarked on this new phase, the Smith family clung to hope, knowing each step could bring them closer to finding their sibling or facing new challenges ahead. The journey was far from over. The private investigator quickly got to work, reviewing old case files and interviewing anyone with potential leads. Tension built as the family waited for news, each day stretching their resolve. Could this new approach finally yield the answers they so desperately sought? Days turned into weeks, and just when hope began to wane, a breakthrough emerged. A witness came forward claiming to have seen someone resembling their sibling at a local cafe months ago. Excitement surged through the Smith family as they clung to this newfound clue. With this lead in hand, the investigator arranged for the family to visit the cafe. They felt a mixture of excitement and trepidation, knowing this could either bring them closer to the truth or lead to another dead end. Inside the cafe, the atmosphere was charged with possibilities. As they spoke to the staff, descriptions were shared, and memories were stirred. Each moment felt heavy with the weight of nostalgia and longing. Then, one of the staff members recalled a distinct tattoo on the individual they had seen, a mark that resonated deeply with the family's memories. This was no ordinary coincidence. It felt like fate. Emboldened, the investigator arranged for a more thorough investigation into nearby records, hoping to track down any recent appearances matching the description. The family could hardly contain their hope, now feeling so close yet so far. As the days passed, the investigator uncovered surveillance footage from the cafe. Watching the grainy images felt surreal, as the family held their breath, searching for the familiar face among the crowd. Suddenly, a figure appeared. A person matching their sibling's description walked through the frame. Gasps escaped the family's lips. The moment felt unreal. Could this be the breakthrough they had been waiting for? With renewed urgency, the investigator tracked down the cafe's location on social media. A single post showcased an event where the figure had been tagged, sending the family into a frenzy of excitement and anxiety. The family felt a mix of hope and fear as they prepared to visit the event. What if they finally came face to face with their long-lost sibling? The thought was both exhilarating and terrifying, each moment filled with uncertainty. At the event, the atmosphere buzzed with energy. The Smith family scanned the crowd, eyes darting from face to face, searching for a glimpse of the person they had longed for. Every sighting felt like a potential revelation. Then, in the distance, a figure caught their attention, a person with a familiar tattoo. Time seemed to slow as they approached. Was this really their sibling? With hearts racing, they drew closer, their emotions on edge. The figure turned, and for a heartbeat, the world around them faded away. They stood face to face, and recognition sparked in their eyes. As they spoke, the initial disbelief melted into tears. Stories poured out, each memory weaving a tapestry of their shared past. Years of separation fell away in an instant, their bond reignited. Yet, even amid the joy, questions lingered. Why had they disappeared? What had happened during all those years apart? The answers could change everything for the Smith family. Over the following weeks, they began to piece together the story. A life of challenges and struggles had kept their sibling away, yet they had always held on to the hope of one day reuniting. As they learned more, the Smith family found strength in their siblings' resilience. Each story deepened their connection, weaving together the fabric of their shared identity, no longer fractured by time. But healing takes time, and the journey toward understanding was just beginning. They decided to seek family therapy, emphasizing the importance of addressing past traumas together. As the weeks turned into months, the family's bond strengthened. They shared holidays, birthdays, and mundane moments that felt extraordinary in light of their reunion. Each memory became precious. However, the shadows of the past still lingered. The investigation continued, driven by a need for closure. Was there more to uncover about the years apart? With renewed determination, the investigator pursued leads, a mix of old records and new insights. Each piece of the puzzle brought them closer to understanding the siblings' journey. Then, a significant breakthrough came. An old acquaintance of their sibling reached out willing to provide answers that had been buried under layers of time and circumstance. The meeting was set, and anticipation ran high. What secrets would this acquaintance reveal? The family braced themselves for the revelations that could change everything once again. In a dimly lit room, the acquaintance shared their story, a tale of survival, hardship, and choices that led to years of separation. Each word resonated deeply with the Smith family. As the pieces fell into place, the Smith family began to understand the complexities of their siblings' choices. Rather than blame, they felt compassion for the life lived while apart. With each discovery, they learned that love, though strained, had never truly vanished. The commitment to rebuilding their relationship grew stronger, fueled by understanding and forgiveness. Realizing the importance of family, the Smiths decided to organize a gathering with extended relatives, aiming to mend past rifts and embrace a united future. The spirit of connection was rekindled. As they celebrated together, the sense of belonging deepened. Each shared story of their siblings' life further solidified their bond, creating a tapestry of connections that spanned generations. Yet, in the back of their minds, the questions persisted. Would their sibling ever feel completely at home again? The journey of healing was ongoing, marked by both joy and lingering uncertainty. As seasons changed, so too did their relationship. They learned to navigate the complexities of their shared past, weaving new memories while honoring the scars that had shaped them. Eventually, the Smith family decided to document their journey, sharing their story of loss, reunion, and resilience with others. They hoped to inspire those facing similar struggles to never lose hope. As their story spread, they received messages from families who resonated with their experience. The Smiths felt a sense of purpose, knowing their journey could help others find closure. Months later, a documentary team reached out to the Smith family, eager to tell their story for a wider audience. The family felt both nervous and honored to share their journey. As the crew began filming, the family relived both the painful and joyful moments of their past. Each interview brought tears, laughter, and profound reflections on their relationship. The documentary aimed to highlight not only their reunion, but the broader themes of family, resilience, and the power of love. They wanted others to see that healing, though difficult, is possible. As the documentary aired, the Smith family's story resonated with viewers across the country. Letters of gratitude poured in, each one a reminder of the power of hope and connection. Reflecting on their journey, the Smith family realized that their love had grown through the trials they faced. They became advocates for family reunification, sharing resources and support with others. Though the past was marked by pain, they embraced it as part of their story. Their journey taught them the importance of forgiveness and accepting one another's imperfections. Years later, the Smith family gathered for a reunion, no longer defined by loss, but rather by the strength they found in each other. They celebrated not just their siblings' return, but the resilience of family bonds. In the end, the story of the Smith family reminds us that even in the face of adversity, love prevails. Their journey is a testament to the power of hope, healing, and the unbreakable ties of family. As we reflect on their journey, let us carry forward the belief that no matter how lost we may feel, there is always a path back to one another. Every story has the potential to inspire and heal. Thank you for joining us on this emotional journey through the Smith family's reunion. May it remind us all to cherish our loved ones and never give up on those who are lost. Until next time, keep hope alive.